All right, everyone. So welcome back. Today we're going to discuss chapter 6, which is the entrepreneurship class for the financing your business using Building Your Dream. McGraw Hill, Building Your Dream, Canadian Guide for Starting Your Own Business. All right, let's start for your Building Your Dream of this chapter. There's a four objective for this one. Distinguish between different types of financings, number one. Number two is understand the major source of financing available. Number three, explore the alternative source of financing and support that are often overlooked by entrepreneurs. Number four, develop the financing strategy and evaluate your ability to secure financings. Okay. What are the two major types of financing? Can be debt, can be equity, can be convertible. What are these? Like examples, convertible debt, exchangeable debt, exchangeable debt. That's another one. Means it has a hybrid. When I was in Nomura, Morgan Grenfell, this is what I do basically. Private investor. My private investor clients like Temasek and GSIC are the two biggest arms of Singapore investment company. So we issue a lot of convertible bonds for pre-IPO. They call it before initial public offering. Company, this Temasek and GIC will invest in a company that has a big potential after IPO. Okay, so they invest in terms of convertible debt that is a debt that's a low in terms of coupon, but it can be converted into equity. That's how they make money. They make money when the equity, the company go public, and the conversion price is at a cheaper level, a certain PE, let's say 10 times, and when it's over in the market, it's going to trade maybe 11, maybe at least 15 times. So they make a lot of money there after they go public. Okay, and be convertible. That's an example of a convertible quasi debt and equity hybrid financing. Sources of money to operate and grow your business can be customer, preferred but likely insufficient. Customer has limited funds. Your own money, only you can afford to lose it. Okay, not many people have that kind of money. If you're Donald Trump, you have a rich dad that can lend you $10 million. That's great, but most people are not. Example like the the founders of Apple. That's a good example. They have to do financing from others as well. Uber is another way of financing. They look for investor, angel investor, and then the same thing with Airbnb is the same issue. Okay, they have to find external sources. Okay, okay, external sources. So these are the people that has money that invest in that company. Uber, Airbnb, then there's other investors. Okay. Debt financing is borrow money that must be repaid with an interest using it has a principal, interest rate, term of loan, as well as repayment schedule. Example: you have amount of around 100,000, interest rate 8%, term is 5 years, repayment annual payments will be the terms. Okay, how are you gonna go about it in terms of the payment schedule? Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way. This is the payment. This is the principal, this is the interest, this is the balance. That's how it goes in terms of your repayment schedule, yeah, on the law. This is a typical standard for debt financing. When again back when I was 30 years ago in Sigma Batara company, investment banking firm, as well as Nomura, we do a lot of Euro bonds, as Yankee bonds, as well as other local bonds. We raise funds. These are the payment and principal interest balance. We do this almost every single IPO for the debt offering. Secured and unsecured. Secured means there's a collateral for the loan. What is lien? Lien means there's a collateral, personal asset as a collateral. So most of the loan, if you borrow money from the bank, they are required to have a lien to secure that loan. Unsecured is it has no collateral. It's based on the ability to repay, reserve for maturities with cash flow, and carry a higher interest rate. So that's the thing. Most like individual average Joe and Jane, most people has to have a collateral. The non-collateral is a big company that has a very big name, that has a very good reputation. Example like Walmart, Costco. Okay, they can have an unsecured debt. Let's say Bank of America, BMO or RBC. Okay, they have a big name. They can do bond financings there. Or maybe Toyota or Honda. That's a good example. Equity financing, amount to be invested. What is the right amount to raise? So that is the key part. You want to make sure the amount of equity being given to external shareholders is not too much. It's not going to dilute your ownership. Valuation of the company difference can be used discounted cash flow, multiplier method, comparable, and venture capital method. Okay, there are several ways of doing things. Equity financing, structure of the financing, common share versus preferred shares can be done. Control of veto, need to provide financial statement, sit on the board of directors. So most people either common shares and preferred share. Rarely the IPO done by preferred share. Most of the time is done by common shares. Okay. Share ownership as startup can be founder 1, founder 2. Okay, ownership can be 50%, 50%, 100%. Example is the founder of Facebook. There's about 5 or 6 founders, and each founder has a percentage of ownership. Founder 1 example here, founder 1 is 40%, founder 2 is 40%, investor 1 is 20%. This is a typical investor 1 in Facebook. Example is a good one. The original founders, 5 of them. There's also other investor, private equity firm who invested. Okay, same thing with Apple. Okay. Equity example number 3, founder 1, founder 2, 30%, investor 1 and 2, 15%, the first one. Second one is 25%. This could be the first initial investors that provide seed fund. Investor 2 will be maybe at the growth stage investor. Okay, maybe be our private equity investor before going public. Exit strategy: acquisition by third party, sale of units to third party investor. There's a buyback agreement, and there's a management or employee buyout. There's also an initial public offering. This is what I do most of the time when I was working with Nomura Securities, Morgan Granfa Securities, Sigma Batara, all the way. Most of this is the thing that I do all the time. It's more exciting to do an IPO. Why? Because you do a lot of roadshow. The roadshow is always in the major financial institutions. That's the fun thing. Okay, major financial institutions. Convertible debt. Convertible debt can be debenture, hybrid of debt and equity. Start out as a loan, which can be converted into shares. Okay. Founder 1, Founder 2, investor provide loan of 100,000. Interest rate is 10% annually. Conversion term can next round of equity financing. Discount rate will be what? 40%. Okay. Discount rate is given to you 40%. That's how they make money. Discount rate 40%. So let's say if you the value of $1, 40%, you only buy 60% on a dollar. 2 years later, investing over another half a million, at a valuation of 2 million, equity ticket conversion with a loan 40% discount. So this is how it goes. Founder 1, 540, after conversion become 45%. Founder 2 be 540, become 45%. Investor 1, 120, 10%. 1.2. Okay. And then conversion table debt number 3. After conversion, second equity financing will be 675. This is this. Ownership will be diluted from 40, before it's 45, become 33.75, 7.5% for investor 1, 25% for investor 2, because second version. Slave agreement, simple agreement for future equity, quick and easy to use. A simple investor contact the private investor with the option to convert their investment into equity upon triggering event, like a future equity financing. Okay. Advantage of the debt equity options. Advantage of debt financing, useful for meeting a short-term deficit in the cash flow. You do not have to give up your share control of your business. The term of the debt loan is generally limited, may be acquired from a variety of lender. You can shop around, and the information to obtain the loan is very straightforward. Interest paid is also deductible. Okay. Conversion between debt to equity or convertible option. Review convertible bonds. This is the typical standard being used. Choosing debt number 2, disadvantage of debt financing can be hard to obtain. The project is risky and success uncertain. Taking on more debt can be burden on your cash flow. That's correct, because it's high debt is you're gonna have to service your debt. If the funds are not used properly, it may be difficult to repay. That's correct. If you have too much debt, it's gonna have most of your cash flow is gonna go to paying debt. If the demand loan, it is callable by the lender at any time. So that's, you don't want that. The loan can be called anytime. Lender may require personal guarantee for the loan, and that is, you also don't want to have a personal guarantee of the loan. Why? Because it's gonna go up to your personal asset level. You don't want to lose your house, you don't want to lose your personal assets. Then we often insist on certain things being put into place, so that's another advantage of that financing, okay? Advantage of equity financing, appropriate investors can contribute to expertise, contact, and new business. That's correct. If you look at some of the equity financings done in the Shark Tanks or Dragon in the TV show, so some of them are expert in their business, so they can contribute their expertise. Equity may be the only way to fund risk, venture, and where the cost debt would be prohibitive. Equity can also be used to fund larger projects with longer time frames. The advantage of it is you don't have to give up ownership and control of the business. That's the key part. Give up some ownership and control of the business. That's you don't want to lose control of your company, and you don't want to lose control of your business. There's always the danger of incompatibility and disagreement among these investors. Some people, if they don't get along, you're gonna have a big fight. There's a lot of takeover issues, hostile takeover, that kind of things. Shareholders may have the right are protected by law. It's much more difficult to terminate relationship with shareholders if the disagreement occur. The advantage, however, option number 5, is the advantage of convertible debt equity financing. They avoid the need to set the valuation of the company at the time of the investment. Okay, they reduce the chance of striking a bad deal, either for investors and entrepreneurs. They're flexible, they're the simple form of financing that can be negotiated quickly. So this is what most of the private equity investment doing it. Okay, investors are not shareholders under the conversion, which keep the company ownership structure simple. Okay, this is an advantage of the convertible bonds, convertible debt. Disadvantage is that although convertible debt financing do not require valuation, conversion term must be still negotiated, can be equally hard to establish. Investor may resist the use of convertible debt and guilty because the limit of the right and privilege investor typically enjoy, you give them title recourse if things goes wrong. Okay, some private investors will require high discount, low PE ratio for they so they when they convert they make that how they make their money there. Okay, so that could not be acceptable for the founders. Okay, all right. Source of funding the startup, the major source will be working capital, personal funds, friends and family, banks and financial institutions, angel investor, or venture capital. Sources are the Airbnb, Uber, they use angel investors. And some of the other company, they use venture capital, like Apple, venture capital. Other resources, bootstrapping, government programs, non-profit organizations, incubator, as well as crowdfunding. It's the most common one these days. The trend in these generations is crowdfunding. Okay, this is the angel investor. The average is 25,000 to 250,000. Venture capital is 250,000 above. Why the investor interest? Believe in the product, has a relationship with the entrepreneur. Okay, and then there's an advisory role for angel investor, where money comes mostly from individual. Pitching investors, click a business plan. It's really quicker and checks smaller. Angel we can take more risk than venture capital do. Return on investment upon the acquisition may sell share to the future investor. Okay, that's the angel investor typical characteristic. While venture capitalist is 250,000 above. Product must be proven, know the market well, know how to reach the potential market. Involvement will be in the board of directors. That's the key part. Okay, they are gonna go into as a member of the board. Other people's money, because where the money come from, slide deck, business plan, minimum 9 months. Relationship form with a venture capitalist. Due diligence takes time. Due diligence usually takes about 3 months, 2 to 3 months at least minimum. When the car is quiet, the company become public, then investor may sell the share. This is how they get out from that investment return. Potential source of financing can have the funds. Canada style get access over 800 government grants and loan, 862 private investor with over 750 in available funding. Use Mars, government Canadian business grants, financing, as well as future entrepreneur as BDC. Bootstrapping is creative, non-traditional way in finance startup, using a 75-80% new startup use form of bootstrapping that can help finance themselves. Bootstrapping can take wide variety of forms, such as minimize account receivable, delaying payment, sharing resources with others, starting your business in your garage. Okay. And then bootstrapping number 2, The technique includes supply inventory buying plans, leasing versus buying, leasehold improvement, advance payment to the customer from the customer. And then there's also federal government financial assistance such as BDC, Canada Small Business Financing Program, CSBFP. There's also Industrial Research Assistance Program, IRAP, Community Future and Community Business Development Corporations. There's Women Entrepreneur Strategy if you're a woman. There's also Indigenous Service Canada if you're a minority group, Indigenous members of the Canadian Society. How about the financial assistance opportunity? There's also provincial, territorial government assistance program. There's also not-for-profit organizations such as Futurepreneur and Canadian Community Loan Association. There's also incubator and accelerator. Okay. There's also the next one, which is the crowdfunding that usually mostly used in media and internet. Originated from crowdsourcing. Our residents can invest, can also generate publicity, can be a Kickstarter, okay, or vested, can be reward-based crowdfunding, can be equity crowdfunding as well. Okay, look at the next one. Securing debt funding from a bank. There is a size of transaction fee. There's a prepayment policy. There's a flexibility of payment terms. There's fixed or variable debt you have to choose. Security and personal guarantee required. So that's the key part. You do not want to have personal guarantee. That's because the liability up to personal level. You can lose your house because of the personal guarantee. Quality of overall service also provided by institution. Expected processing time. Okay, there's also what we call it the 5C. In the credit, they will ask if you have a good character. Okay, you have number 2, collateral. Oops, let me just go back here to the second page. The character, collateral, capital, credit, and capacity. At the end of the day, you must have a good credit score and good character. You have no criminal record and anything like that. Okay, and good collateral as well. How to get the best from your banker. Know what is the banker is looking for. Don't tell your banker, show your banker, interview your bankers. Passion makes perfect. Ask for more money than you need. Get your banker involved in your business. Increase your credit when you do not need to. Make professional introductions. If all fails, keep looking. That's the key part. If all fails, keep looking. You have to spread your network on not only to one bank but also to several banks. Okay, that's 8 major banks here. Equity finance for an investor, elevator pitch, make it quick, focus on designing your customer, what the problem is, how to solve it, what you're looking for. This is elevator pitch, they call it. From pitch present, and after that you're gonna go to the presentation, cover key aspect of your business plan, about 20 minutes, prepare pitch deck, investor is developing you. This is where you see, if you see Dragon's Den, or Shark Tank, this is going to be something like that. Okay, similar to that. And then security finance for Indian investor number 2, opportunity assessment, product, in terms of dollar, in terms of market, in terms of team, they're going to ask you. And then in terms of the term sheet from angel investor, term sheet is in the negotiating term. Simple non-binding agreement outline the key investment term to be negotiated, and the lawyer that must draft more detailed, legally binding share supplement agreement in preparation of closing and the transfer of the funds. So that's basically summarize the chapter. Let's go back to the chapter summary. Chapter summary here, distinguish between different types of financing. We have debt, equity, as well as convertible debt. So each has its own definitions there. And then number 2, source of financing available from working capital, personal funds, bank to angel investor to venture capitalists. Okay, that we have discussed. In chapter 3, we have data source of financing such as bootstrapping all the way to crowdfunding. Okay, and chapter 4, summary, level 4's objective here, consider the 5 C's and process securing financing from angel investor using the elevator pitch as well as the pitch presentations. And if it is turned down, you should ask and continue to get your network. That's the key part. Okay, guys, so good luck on your review on this chapter. This chapter is also available in Edpuzzle. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.